Hi guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to the second part of the session. Bueno, no habíamos trabajado previamente. Yo soy la otra docente que hace parte del proyecto y oficialmente desde este ciclo vamos a estar trabajando. Antes de arrancar propiamente, o más bien continuar con el tema que ya iniciaron con la profe Laura Juliana, les voy a compartir pues como la dinámica, por decirlo así, que vamos a tener para la segunda parte de cada sesión. Obviamente pues todos tenemos como formas diferentes de trabajar. Con la profe Laura Daniel, o sea, ya tenían como un estilo de trabajo particular, las actividades, cómo se llevan a cabo ciertas cosas. Obviamente pues los contenidos y eso tenemos que cubrirlos sí o sí, pero nuevamente todos tenemos como una dinámica diferente de trabajo. Entonces quiero contarles como desde el principio. Igual la idea es si ustedes tienen dudas, preguntas, me lo hagan saber. Obviamente esta parte se la voy a contar en español, ya que es como un aspecto administrativo, entonces me quiero asegurar. Yo sé que obviamente no va a haber ningún problema, pero que quede lo más claro posible desde el principio. Bueno, mi nombre es Marilyn Blanco Ríos y vamos a estar trabajando en esta segunda parte de cada una de las sesiones, realmente. Entonces, nuestro bloque pues siempre arranca a las 8 y vamos hasta las 9:50. Yo siempre les voy a dar como esos 3 minuticos, les voy a compartir esa diapositiva que estaba al arranque, pensando obviamente que mientras ingresan se van acomodando y etcétera. Eh, También pues luego eventualmente pasaremos a lo que es tomar asistencia. Entonces, súper importante, ojalá que podamos mantener la puntualidad lo más posible, así como también la mantienen ustedes para el primer bloque. En este bloque, básicamente, pues continuamos, obviamente, como les decía, lo propuesto en nuestro calendario. Y bueno, Laura Juliana es la docente titular, pero en esta segunda parte, pues también hay un componente calificativo que se saca. Como ustedes lo saben, digamos que es en este pedacito de la clase, uno es responsable de dos cosas. En nuestro caso, hablando de las actividades que pertenecen al componente de quizzes, como ustedes recuerdan, tiene un valor del 40%, y la parte del speaking, que es lo que hacemos en la última sesión, digamos que vale el 7.5%, ya que todas las habilidades tienen el mismo peso. Entonces, les voy a contar cómo vamos a trabajar lo de los quizzes. Ustedes saben que no es propiamente la palabra quiz como tal, es esas diferentes actividades que hacemos en clase. En algunos momentos serán actividades individuales como la que tengo planeada para hoy. En algunos casos serán actividades que los enviaré y ustedes trabajarán de forma colaborativa con sus compañeros. Siempre, más que todo, mi dinámica es les comparto un PowerPoint. Cada grupo, cada uno de ustedes va a tener como una diapositiva asignada y están las instrucciones pues de la actividad que les daré a conocer. Listo, la idea es que pues ojalá en los tiempos, según la planeación, pues la puedan realizar en el tiempo establecido. De pronto se nos extiende un poco más la sesión, algo ocurre, de pronto ustedes por el momento no pueden porque X razón. Va a quedar habilitada la actividad hasta el día siguiente hábil antes de que arranque la sesión. Entonces, por ejemplo, lo que vamos a realizar hoy va a quedar entonces habilitado hasta la sesión del lunes a las 8. La idea es que se haga en clase. Eso sí es algo en lo que quiero ser muy puntual. No estoy diciendo que entonces yo asigno el tiempo y de pronto ustedes digan, bueno, terminamos. No. La idea o la intención es que en casos de pronto muy extremos por X circunstancia, les tocó dejarla para la clase el día siguiente. Durante el transcurso de su día, de pronto ven en qué momento terminan quizás de enriquecer lo que los ponga yo a escribir, por decirlo de alguna manera. Pero en eso sí quiero aclarar súper lo más posible, y es que la actividad es para hacer en clase, no es que vaya a quedar de tarea. Es solo por si hay algún detalle en particular. Entonces, ¿qué va a pasar el lunes a las 8? Luego yo le cambio los parámetros de compartir y ya solo queda como lector. De tal manera que en ese día, bueno, tenemos nuestra clase. En la clase siguiente yo entro a hacer la revisión de la actividad. Ya ustedes ya luego no la pueden editar. Entonces, para que lo tengan presente. Siempre vamos a tener como el día después para completarla, ajustarla, pero lo ideal es que lo realicemos en la clase. Como ustedes saben, diferentes actividades son las que se realizan. Yo nunca les voy a avisar cuáles tienen nota y cuáles no. Siempre va a ser como, tenemos actividades de producción, más que todo producción escrita. En algunos casos yo les solicito que me presenten, por decirlo así, ese, ese ejercicio que ustedes han realizado, pero yo nunca les aviso cuál va a ser nota y cuál no. De los que realicemos, yo tomo tanto de trabajo individual como de trabajo colaborativo para colocar en ese componente de quizzes. Lo que hago después es que yo tomo esas notas y las envío a la profesora Laura Juliana para que ella las sume junto con las notas de quizzes que ella también obtiene con sus clases. ¿Listo? Entonces, esa vendría siendo como la parte de los quizzes, que es uno de los componentes de evaluación, digamos, que están a mi cargo. Y el segundo componente que viene siendo el speaking final, que lo vamos a estar realizando en nuestra última sesión, que viene siendo en el segundo bloque de la clase 10. En el primer bloque, pues, la parte del examen y en la segunda parte, pues, el parcial. Esto es a manera de ejemplo, obviamente no les estoy compartiendo desde ya de qué consiste el parcial del speaking. Entramos a nivel B1 y obviamente el nivel de exigencia como que va aumentando. No los quiero asustar, ni mucho menos, esa nunca será mi intención, pero sí como que caigamos en cuenta de la importancia en el nivel que estamos. Hago esta pequeña introducción para contarles en qué va a consistir eventualmente el speaking. La primera parte, como ustedes saben, es individual. Yo tengo unas preguntas, no son estas, reitero, y a ustedes les asigno pues una pregunta para que la contesten, dos preguntas de hecho cada uno. En la segunda parte, que es la parte de interacción. La parte de interacción yo se las comparto el día del examen, no se las envío antes, ¿listo? Como les decía, entramos a B1, entramos al componente evaluativo de más exigencia. La idea es que ustedes se inventen una conversación basados en unos temas particulares que yo les envío, obviamente tomando como punto de referencia los temas que estaremos trabajando durante nuestras sesiones. Los envío, ustedes más bien se van a su grupito, al que ustedes más adelante van a armar, por decirlo así, y luego yo visito cada grupo para que hagamos las dos partes, la parte individual y la parte colaborativa. Por el momento no les cuento tanto, ya cuando nos estemos acercando al final del ciclo, les contaré más en detalle también los parámetros, cámara prendida, bla, 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 pero para que se empiecen a hacer a una idea, insisto, sé que no es tan diferente como lo que trabajaban con la profe Laura Daniela, pero pues reitero, quizás habrán par detalles que varían entre cómo lo presento yo a cómo lo presentaba ella. Todas las clases yo pues comparto el material, al igual que en las otras profes. Les voy a compartir este link, ¿listo? Que los va a llevar a esta carpeta. Igual yo les voy a enviar un correo como oficial diciendo que bueno, que arrancamos el curso, la segunda parte del ciclo, con esta mini presentación que les estoy compartiendo. En esta carpeta se van a encontrar entonces el material de las sesiones y pues los instructivos que siempre compartimos con ustedes, el de ingreso a la plataforma, el de acceder al sistema académico, la rúbrica del speaking, que igual ustedes la conocen súper bien, y bueno, el tutorial del libro, aunque en este punto yo estoy segura que todos ya tienen como acceso al libro como tal. Quiero también compartir acá, por el momento, manera de vista, permítanme les comparto toda la pantalla. Aquí hay un archivo en Excel que dice Speaking B1, bueno, el nombre del grupo, que ustedes son el grupo 1. Y les contaba, cuando estemos en nuestra sesión 5, lo que ustedes van a hacer es acá contarme eventualmente con quién van a trabajar o con quiénes van a trabajar para la parte colaborativa del speaking. ¿Listo? Yo no lo voy a organizar, ustedes se organizan. Entonces, ustedes de pronto ya tienen el grupo con el que siempre han realizado la parte de producción oral de forma colaborativa y colocan acá sus nombres. No crean que de pronto quienes se colocan de primera acá es porque van a quedar de primeras. Esa simplemente es como una organización mía para saber cuántos grupos salen y también para luego la distribución de los temas de la parte en grupos. Pero el día del speaking yo arranco con otro grupo, con el 5, por ejemplo. Siempre es al azar. Entonces no tengan de pronto, no sé, susto, llamémoslo así, de que quien quede de primeras entonces es que obligatoriamente pase de primeras. No va a ser así necesariamente. Entonces, y bueno, también les compartiré el link de las grabaciones, que yo sé que ustedes también ya lo tienen. Va a ir acá en esa presentación como para que tengan ambas versiones por si algo. Y bueno, guys, eh, como siempre, contando con la información de las coordinaciones, tanto de Laura como mía, arrancamos, digamos, un nuevo proceso, entre comillas. Reitero mucho que todos tenemos una forma diferente de trabajar, pero sé que la idea será seguir trabajando, no hay ningún problema. En mi caso, la comunicación es a través del correo electrónico. Listo, yo sé que ustedes tienen su grupo de WhatsApp, ustedes se acompañan, se apoyan mucho. En mi caso, sí prefiero que la comunicación sea a través de los canales institucionales. ¿Listo? Para que también lo tengamos presente. Acá está el correo. No tengo técnicamente uno propiamente es institucional que uno diga. Igual se lo voy a compartir acá. Eventualmente en la presentación les llegará el correo pues desde esta cuenta. Y bueno, guys, antes de pronto darle la palabra por si tienen alguna inquietud, parámetros básicos, ser puntuales. Obviamente no he tomado asistencia, pero la asistencia siempre trato de tomarla al minuto 5, más o menos 6 tal vez. asegurarnos como estas cositas que el micrófono esté apagado, la cámara apagada, porque todo queda grabado desde el principio. Entonces, que de pronto no se nos escape algo por ahí. Siempre muy organizados al momento de hacer una intervención, levantar la manito. Si varios hablan al tiempo, pues no se va a entender, ¿verdad? Y bueno, también algo que pareciera obvio, pero sí es súper importante que lo tengamos en cuenta y es que vamos a estar en clase. ¿Listo? Utilizar el tiempo como corresponde. Habrán actividades que tienen varias instrucciones y yo les digo, tienen 20 minutos y parece que 20 minutos el tiempo nos va a sobrar. Es bastante engañoso. ¿Listo? Entonces, ojalá asegurarnos que el tiempo que estamos en la clase y las actividades se desarrollen pues en esos minutos que están ahí distribuidos. Bueno, guys, nuevamente pues bienvenidos y pues estoy segura que vamos a trabajar súper bien, así como han venido trabajando con las profes Laures. Quisiera saber si tienen alguna pregunta antes de tomar asistencia.
Hola, profe, buenas noches.
Buenas noches, Jessy.
Con relación a los grupos, nosotros siempre hemos trabajado con la profe, ahora era,
Mm,
que aleatoriamente ella nos organizaba, siempre nos creaba la sala.
mm.
Como tal, no tenemos un grupo así como definido.
Bueno,
Desde
digamos que
que,
sigue siendo aleatorio. De pronto ustedes se
sí.
escriben ahí y a ver quién más ingresa. Sí, sí, por mí no hay
Ok,
problema en ese caso. Ok,
thank you.
Jessy. ¿Listo? ¿Algo más? Bueno. Well, guys, I want to take attendance. Let me turn this off so I can have a better look to the chart. Ah, bueno, mientras Natalia va escribiendo en el chat, voy abriendo aquí el cuadrito. Ok. Máximo 3, Natalia. No puede quedar nadie trabajando de forma individual, valga la aclaración. Máximo 3. Ah, bueno, y quizás otro detalle, digamos usted, por el momento no lo pueden editar, solo como que les presento el cuadrito y la idea. Ahorita solo lo mira, pero no les deja editar. Eventualmente, digamos, ustedes colocan sus nombres. Si de pronto yo les digo qué días tienen plazo máximo bueno, de completar el cuadrito de con quién van a trabajar. Y de pronto a alguien se le olvidó, yo igual reviso la lista y confirmo que todos los nombres estén acá. Entonces, de pronto, quien se le haya olvidado, yo simplemente lo tomo y lo coloco en algún espacio que esté en blanco, de tal manera que ya queden todos los grupos conformados. Se me pasó como contarles ese detallito, pero sí, máximo 3. Attendance, attendance. Gerson Yamit Arismendi.
Present teacher.
Ok. Keiner Damián Baez.
I'm here, teacher.
Ok. Jean-Claude Barrera.
Present teacher.
Ok. Natalia Camargo.
Present teacher.
Ok. William, sorry. Yesid Calderón.
Present teacher.
Ok. William Andrés Castrillón.
Present teacher.
Ok. Andrés Camilo Correa.
Hi, teacher, present.
Hello. Andrés Corredor. Not here yet. Silvia Natalia Cuellar. Silvia is not here yet. Johan Alberto Duque.
Present teacher.
Ok. Elkin Darío Fernández.
Present teacher.
Ok. Julián Jesús Figueroa.
Present teacher.
Ok. Ginette Valentina Funtecha.
Present teacher.
Ok. Carlos Andrés Galán.
Present teacher.
Ok. Mabel y Juliet Gamboa.
Present teacher.
Ok. Cindy Juliana García.
Present teacher.
Ok. José Alejandro Gómez.
Here teacher.
Ok. Lisette Carolina Tarazona.
Present teacher.
Ok. And Brian Camilo Vargas.
Present teacher.
Okay, I already saw, just to confirm, Silvia Natalia Cuellar. I'm taking attendance. I think I saw her. Yes. Silvia Natalia Cuellar. Well, she will let us know eventually. And Andres Corredor. Okay, we'll see. Well, guys, as I was telling you, today we're going to start. We have officially, let's say officially, shared some information about our course. I will share with you this presentation as well. And we're going to continue working on our unit 5. Let me share the whole screen once again. Yes. In this case, guys, we are talking about pages 48 and 49. As you already noticed, on these 2 pages, we will be focusing our attention on the grammatical component. You already noticed from the first part, let me go back for a moment, that, let me zoom in. In this case, we will be talking about future forms, which is actually a kind of review for you. I'm pretty sure that up to this point, there are some grammatical components that are pretty obvious for you. And we're going to refresh. Actually, that's the word, to refresh our memory, talking about different ways to talk about the future. We were talking about skills for the 21st century, more related to work skills, actually. In this case, we continue talking about that work environment. But first of all, I would like to ask you a pretty simple question, more like a question. It's a survey that I want to conduct tonight. And also want to keep it, let's say, a little bit anonymous. I would like to ask you, I just send you the link to vote if you consider if you are ambitious or not. It's a pretty simple question. And as I told you, the idea is to keep it a little bit anonymous. So you decide if your answer is yes or no. Of course, we will eventually see how realistic those answers are. I'm going to give you probably a couple of seconds for you. There are 20 of you. So I hope that everybody sends their answer. So let me turn this off for a moment. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Hopefully everybody sends their answer. Are you ambitious or not? Let's see. Okay, there are 15 answers so far. We have around 10 seconds left. Probably the other 5 send their answers as well. Okay, 15 it is. Okay, let's use percentage. You know, it looks a little bit more elegant. That means that 93% of you consider that yes, you are actually ambitious. 7%, only 1 participant considers that actually no. Being ambitious is not probably one of your characteristics. We'll see. Guys, on our book, that would be page, as I was telling you, 48. Here we have a quiz. And precisely the title of the quiz says, how ambitious are you? We're going to read the 6 questions that we have in here. And of course, guys, I'm going to ask you to read the questions, but also the idea that you guys also take the quiz yourselves, you know, like then you, probably I don't ask you, but you could say, okay, in my case, number 1, I am A, number 2, I'm C, number 3, I'm A as well. So at the end, we can keep the tally of the number of most correct answers that we have. Andres, could you read question number 1, please?
Sorry, teacher. There are 2 Andres in the group. So, Andres Correa or Andres Correa?
Andres Correa, yes.
So I can see your screen,
You can't see my screen? Andres?
No, teacher, I cannot.
Let me stop sharing and then to share again.
Okay.
What about now?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
good.
work. Yes. So
Very
which
good.
one is?
Question number 1. The questions and also the 3 choices that they are assigning.
All right. So the first one is, do you find out that your local college is running a course next term that will be useful for your career? How do you react? A, you enroll immediately and pay for it yourself. You decide that you're going to do it and ask your company to pay. You're doing a lot in the next few months, so you decide to wait until next year.
Okay, Andres, thank you very much. From your perspective, which would be the answer for you? What would you do if you were in a situation like this?
Okay, let me see. Or the option C. Yes, I will choose. I choose the last one, or C option.
Wait until next year. Why would that be, Andres? Why until next year?
So I don't know how to explain that.
Let's try. Why until
Yeah.
next year?
Mm,
Are you busy currently?
yeah. Doing a lot in the next few months, so you decide.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know how to respond, but
Okay, yeah, maybe, you could say that, I don't know, I'm guessing, and because of this responsibility that you guys have now every night, that you're really busy, plus your jobs, plus your lives. So probably there are a lot of aspects. Let me see in the chat. Okay, I noticed that, Sylvia, sorry. That's sad. Okay, hope that you can listen as much as possible.
Yes, teacher, but now I'm on my cell phone, so yes.
Okay, let's hope we don't kill all your data plan. Well, Andres, thank you very much. I would like to ask a different person if agrees or disagrees with Andres's answer. Please set Tarazona. What would you choose, A, B, or C?
Maybe A, because I think I have the time now to study a little more, because I'm not working right now. So maybe study is a good plan if this will help me to my career.
Absolutely. In this imaginary situation, of course, Lisette, any course in particular that you would like to take? Something that actually you are interested in?
Well, for my job, I need I don't know how to say RCP courses, como RCP de reanimación. No sé cómo decirlo en inglés.
Okay, we can look it up while you expand.
And I need this for my job.
Just the same? Sorry for...
Let me check.
I
think it's CPR.
CPR.
CPR, yes.
Okay.
The CPR courses, because this is I need this in my curriculum.
Okay, Lisette, thank you very much. Well, guys, sorry about the noise. Let's have a look at question number 2, guys. Remember, you are also taking the quiz. If I don't ask you, it doesn't mean that you can't, of course, choose your answer, because we will eventually have a look at how similar or different your answers are. Let's have a look now at, yes, Andre Felipe. You raise your hand.
Yes, teacher. I think I will decide to going to do it. Maybe ask my company, the company where I work, if they are able to pay for me that course. On my case, I would like to do PMP. This is a professional management, a projector, professional management. I think it will be help me a lot to keeping scalar, develop myself on the company.
Okay. That would be a great, especially if the company pays for it. That would be awesome
Yeah.
to save that amount of money.
Will be the best.
Okay, actually it is. Andre Felipe, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have a look at number 2. Brian Camilo, could you read the question and the 3 possibilities, please?
Yes, teacher. One of your college gets a promotion. How do you feel? A, you are upset. You intend to find out why you didn't get the job. You feel a bit jealous, but you are not going to show it. And C, you are really pleased for your college. You think he will do a great job.
Okay, Brian, before you share your answer, just to clarify a little bit, the pronunciation colleague. A college
Okay, thank you.
colleague and jealous.
Okay.
Let's refresh our memory a little bit, guys. Do you remember the meaning of promotion?
Ascenso. Yes, teacher.
Very good. That would be the idea in this case. Just like to refresh our memory a little bit. Well, Brian, what do you think? What would you do in a situation like that? A, B, or C?
I think I choose the letter C.
And why do you think that's the best choice compared to A or B?
Mm, no, I think
Don't worry,
I
Brian,
think
this is a safe space. If you feel jealous, don't worry. I'm just kidding. So just stick on your answer, Brian, see?
yes, teacher.
Okay, so Brian thinks C. I would like to ask Mabel if you agree with Brian, or maybe you would choose a different answer.
Hello, teacher.
Hello.
For me is the same answer. See, you are really blessed for your college. You think he'll do a great job.
Okay, colleague. Okay, very good. Very politically correct, you guys. Nice. Let's have a look at question number 3. I would like to ask Carlos Gaitan. Read the question and the 3 possibilities.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Carlos Galán.
Dije Gaitán, lo siento, Galán. You are right.
No problem, teacher. Number 3, you are about to leave work and go away for the weekend with your family. At the last minute, something important comes up that needs dealing with over the weekend. what do you do? A, you call your family and say that you are not going. B, you call your colleague. And C, to find someone else to deal with the problem. And C, you leave the message for your boss and explain that your family will be upset if you don't spend the weekend with them.
Okay, Carlos, before you
Okay.
continue, the pronunciation, this with try
Try
and message.
message.
Okay. Well, Carlos, what would you do in a situation like that, which unfortunately looks very possible these days?
Yes, it depends, but it's possible. B, you call your colleagues and try to
Colleagues.
find someone, colleagues
Colleagues.
and colleagues,
Yes. Okay.
and try to find someone.
Have you been in that situation, Carlos? Have you experienced something similar to that one?
It's not common for me.
Okay. That would be it. Okay, Carlos, thank you very much. Let's ask another person, probably they have similar or different experience. Kainer, what would you do? Or if you had already been in a situation like this one?
Okay, teacher, I think depends of the context because today you get a contract that say that you are available for this a problem happen. And I
If a
think
problem happens.
if a problem happen. And I think I choose A and I call my family and say that I'm not going if my contract say that.
Okay. Very political as well, your answer, Kenner, but you know, actually it is true. If you sign for that, I mean, you have to deliver. We don't have any other possibility. Unfortunately, but true. Kenner, thank you very much. Let's have a look at question number 4. In this case, Cindy Juliana, please read the question and the 3 possibilities.
4. One of your colleagues.
That's the word of the night.
Is due to go on maternity leave and you've always wanted her job. What happens? A. You ask your boss if you can do your college job while she's away. Secretly, you have to keep the job permanently. B. You're planning to speak to your boss about it soon, but you haven't found the right moment. And C. You're thinking of asking your boss about it, but you don't want to accept your college.
Your college. Okay, this is also interesting a little bit. Cindy, what do you think? Which would be the path for you to follow?
Okay. I don't know. I think probably letter B.
Okay.
Yes, I think because I am little, I don't know, timid?
Shy.
Shy, okay.
You're a little shy. Okay. Could be, could be. Well, just like to refresh our memory, guys. Do you remember what maternity leave is, right? What is that? No, licencia de maternidad. Yes. And of course, when we're talking about men, will be paternity leave. That is like the concept for both cases. Cindy said B, like, because she's shy, she considered that B is her best choice. Julian Jesus, what would you do?
For me, I don't agree
with any question, but I think that'll be because I am so mm, I don't looking the word.
What would be?
Ni siquiera lo sé en español.
Ay, impossible. There must be a way.
Leal.
Loyal.
Leal.
Loyal. You are loyal.
Can you
I'm gonna send it to the chat.
yes, loyal. Okay.
Okay.
I'm so
Well,
loyal with my friends.
okay. And also you said, Jesus, that your answer or your ideal, let's say answer is not here. So what would you do? Which would be actually your idea in that case?
I would I wouldn't do anything because and this is her job and because for the same I'm a loyal person with my friends but this said
Colleague.
colleague if her is a bad person
If she.
maybe I
Okay.
but is a friend no any
Okay.
any other.
Okay. Jesus, thank you very much. Let's continue. Number 5, Elkin.
Okay. Read this sentence.
Number 5. Yeah, and the 3 statements, please.
Okay. What's your attitude towards hard work? A, if only way I'll achieve what I want. B, I'm only going to work hard if I'm paid well. Or C, hard work interfere with my social life.
Elkin, I'll. Here. Yes. So, Elkin, what do you think?
That I think that for me is the A. The only way I'll achieve what I want.
Okay. So, for example, in your current job or the current career or the field that you're currently in, you consider that it's absolutely necessary to work hard all the time. No
Yes,
shortcuts.
I work for a software company at the moment. I am system analyst, junior system analyst. And I need to study more, practice more, hard work, and for up different positions in my company.
Okay.
The next step is medium system analyst.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It's necessary to work hard.
Yes, every day I need to give every step.
Like they say, like running the extra mile. Well,
what is the sentence, teacher?
Running the extra mile. That means that you have to put like all your effort and in some cases even more. That is like the idea of that expression. Okay. Interesting, Elkin. Thank you very much. Let's see if Jessit agrees or disagrees with your statement. You also think A, Jessit?
Yeah, teacher. I think that when you hard work, you work hard, you can make a big fortune. For example, in my case, I want my own company. For this is necessary hard work every day, every week, every month.
All the time, absolutely,
All the
you see
time.
it. Okay, guys, let's finish this quiz with question number 6. William, could you read the question and the 3 answers, please?
Okay, teacher. Which statement best summarize your attitude towards your future career? A, I intend to be successful whatever it takes. B, I'm going to do my best and see what happens. And C, one day I hope I'll find a job that really suits me.
Summarizes. It's in plural.
Summarizes. Thank you.
Okay, what do you think?
I think B. I'm going to do my best and see what happens.
Okay, what do you think that's the best like choice?
But for me?
Yeah, for your perspective. You can't talk about others' perspective, only yours.
It depends, because for me the correct is B, because successful is not just about hard work.
Well,
sometimes
continue.
Sometimes successful needs a little bit of lucky, so you have to do your best and see what happens. That's all.
Okay, you believe that there is that like hint of luck, that pinch actually, that somehow boosts the whole process. Okay. Interesting, William. Let's see if Jose Gomez agrees. You also believe that B as your opinion, or you consider that the others, one of the others actually? Jose Gomez. What happened, Jose? You're in the chat. That's sad, Jose. And tonight I was planning on asking all of you guys something. Well, homework for Monday. Hopefully it works for Monday. Okay. Okay. Don't take long, please. Then let's ask Gerson. Did you agree with William B?
Okay, teacher, but I can't decide between A or B. Why? Because I will intend to be successful, but to be successful, I am going to do my best. Yep. So if I choose option, I'll choose A.
Okay, so you think that this part, Gerson, of whatever it takes, it's too much?
I didn't understand. It's too much.
Yeah, like, because you said that you would combine the part of B, I intend to be successful, doing my best. So why, let's say you omit the final part of A. The final part of A says whatever it takes. Why you consider that this part would be like to be eliminated?
Okay, because whatever it's like is limited for me. It means if I will be successful and I have to action or incorrect action, so doesn't oh I disagree with it. So I eliminate whatever it say, whatever it say is
Subjective.
Subjective. It's subjective. That depends on all things. So I eliminate that part.
Okay, Gerson, thank you very much. Okay, guys, thank you, guys. The ones that I didn't ask, don't worry. We will have more chances for you to give your opinion. Well, guys, remember that the idea that all of you were taking the quiz, right? So up to this point, you are going to take the tally, you know? You are gonna now tell me how many, not how many, but let's say which answers did you have the most? This is the second slide of the Mentimeter. In case that you already closed your tab, although it is on the chat, I'm gonna send it again. Let's see the conclusions. Which of you guys had mostly A, mostly B, or mostly C? Okay, remember guys, I repeat, remember that the idea was for you to be taking the quiz as well from the six questions that we had in here. So now we can actually see how similar or different your answers were from the first slide. I'm gonna give you once again 30 seconds for you to share your answers. Probably you need to check one more time what you had already chosen. Let's see, A, B, or C, 30 seconds. Twelve answers out of 20. Well, technically it's 19. I saw a name that is repeated. Let's see. 10 seconds. Okay. Let's say that time's up. We have 17 answers out of 19. Well, probably some of you have problems with the link or something. Let's see percentage. 53% of you had mostly A, 24% mostly B, as well as the ones of C. Remember that the first question, let me go back to it for a moment, was how ambitious you are. And actually, most of you guys consider that you were ambitious. Well, of course, we know that this is not like 100% realistic and this is like the final truth. That's not the point. In this case, according to the quiz, mostly A means that you are certainly ambitious. So actually there is like alignment between question number 1 and now question number 2. The ones that are mostly B, that means that somehow you are balanced, you know, practical attitude. And the ones that chose mostly C, according to the quiz, of course, that is related to be a little bit sensitive, you know, and not that ambitious. Once again, was just a quiz from a book, but it is very interesting to see how, based on very specific situation, our perception changes. It is not like you are going to do as you were saying in a moment, like it's not whatever it takes. If it is about action, you won't do it. As also you were saying that if it is your friend's job, you wouldn't take it. You would respect, you know, that bond that you have with that person. So, of course, as just like to sum it up, it is a subjective thing. Well, guys, that was in terms of general aspects of vocabulary. Let's move to the second part. Actually, on this second part, we are talking about the grammatical component. As I was telling you, on this unit, basically what we are going to do is to refresh our memory. We're going to review how to use the future forms. This is the first linguistic component of the unit. Probably when we are talking about future, there are two types of future that we feel more connected with, that are will and going to. But of course, we can't deny that we can also use present continuous to talk about the future. If we want to be very detailed, you know, when we use present continuous, we're talking about plans or actions that are already arranged. Guys, do you remember the meaning of arranged?
Acuerdos.
Could you repeat, sorry?
Acuerdos.
But here like a verb. That would be arrangements. But in this case, it says arrange. So what would be like the verb or the action we are referring to? So if arrangement is acuerdos, what would be arranged as a verb?
Acordar. Arreglar.
Acordados or organized. Oh, that would be also another idea. Basically, the intention of arrange is that it's something that requires a lot of planning, you know. An example could be a trip to Europe. Let's put it like that. Usually, an idea like that requires a lot of time because first of all, it is necessary to save money, then choosing the dates, then choosing the places to visit, then the activities to do on each place, the amount of money that you're going to spend on each place, and possible, you know, extra situations that may happen. When we're talking about actions or activities that actually are quite demanding, that's the idea of something that is arranged. Because as you already said, we're talking about a lot of organization that actually it requires. Then, of course, we can deny going to. Going to probably has a lot of uses. Even in some cases, going to is really connected to present continuous. But if we want to be very detailed, you know, in terms of the grammatical structure, we would say that going to is talking about intentions for the future. But once again, going to is connected to the idea of plans. In real life, I'm sure that most of you have already traveled abroad, or probably you already have, let's say, I don't know, had conversations with people from different English-speaking countries, and you notice that these things of grammar are not that strict in terms of communication. But you know, guys, that here we are on an academic context, so we would always require you guys to use it, let's say, as properly as possible. But then when we see that the context is informal, we can play with it a little bit more. And finally, we have will. Will probably is one of the most, let's say, representative phases when we're talking about a grammatical structure related to future. Usually the intention of will is to predict. The idea also, like the implicit intention of will, is that somehow there is not a really high probability of something, because once again, what we are doing is just a prediction. We can't control the future. That is something that we already know. Of course, these are just three grammatical components that based on the context we can use. Once again, if we think that something is already arranged, if we're talking about an intention, or if we're talking about a prediction. But at the end of the day, probably the results change, you know, and we can't do anything about it. This is about three grammatical structures that we can use talking about future. But in some cases, we can also use other expressions that their idea or their meaning is future. Look at the expressions that we have in here. It says to intend to be thinking of, to be planning to be about to hope to, and to be due to. Okay? When we use these expressions on the statements, here are the statements that were taken from the quiz. We immediately see like their idea, their intention is talking about the future, right? For example, you intend to find out why. I intend to be successful. Notice that the grammatical component, if we look at the sentence, technically the grammar is present simple, right? No transformation to the verb, nothing changes, but now the general idea of the statement is talking about the future. It was said that you intend, that means an action that is supposed to take place eventually, later on that day or later in your life. That is the intention in here. Or for example, you are about to leave work. That means that this action is just a few minutes to happen. It is not in grammatical component of future. Notice that even we're using the verb to be. But then what is the general idea? An action that is going to happen in a moment. So when we talk about the future, let's say that for the moment, of course, we will see more. we can talk about two different situations or contexts. The first talking about the grammatical structures that when we see them, they immediately mean future. Of course, on the statements that we are using, present continuous, going to, and will. And the second context, expressions that when we use them, although the grammar looks present, the general idea is about future because that's the intention that they have, okay? We're refreshing our memory about future, guys. That's the idea of tonight. I would like to know you have any question about this chart. It's the same that we have on the book, you know, just in case. Questions? Nobody's raising their hand. Okay. If you want to take a screenshot of this for the moment, well, or as I told you, you have it on the book. We're going to do one of the activities that we have on the book, and then we're going to do a collaborative activity. Let's read the instruction that we have here on our page 49, and let's see what you have to do. I would like to ask Jeanette to read instruction number 1, please.
Teacher, use the prompts to form sentences.
Could you read also the example? Yes, thank you.
My brother is thinking of changing his job.
Very good. Notice the sentence that was read, how was created, you know? That is it in this part. Jeanette already read the complete example. In the prompts we had, my brother think, change his job. First of all, when we were having a look at the expressions, notice that, am I sharing the book? Yes. When we're having a look at the expressions, notice that when we use think, we use it with the verb to be. It may be a little obvious information for you, but remember, we are refreshing our memory. It is better if we think that it is obvious than maybe to be confused. If I'm talking about my brother, that means that the form of the verb to be, in this case, is going to be is, right? We already have the expression thinking. It is not going to change. And in this case, we have a preposition. Probably, guys, you already remember that after prepositions, it is an obligation to use ing. This ing doesn't mean continuous form. It's just, you know, like a grammatical rule that English has. In this case, the verb has to go with ing. If we think probably of the version when we translate it, it is not progressive. Once again, it is just a rule that English has. So guys, you're going to look at all the prompts, look at the statements. We have due, we have about, we have hope, well, go, that would be the normal one, not intent, and we have think. The idea is that now you are going to have the complete sentences, okay? I'm gonna send you, you know, to breakout rooms. So sorry for the horrible noise. So you create your sentences with your partners. I'm gonna create the rooms randomly, okay? Guys, is it clear what you have to do?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Let me adjust the groups. Okay. 6 sentences. Don't forget to have a look at the statements. That is more like the idea of this exercise because, of course, you are already experts talking about the other grammatical structures. You are going to have around 8 minutes. I will let you know how much time you have left. We would come back, we will share the statements, and then we will move to an individual activity. Let me adjust so you can share your screen in your groups. Let's start. Good evening.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Elkin and Cindy. Tell me.
Hi, teacher. Teacher, can you repeat the instructions?
Sure, let me share here the screen. Well, it's loading. Give it a second. Okay, there it is. The idea, guys, is that now you're going to create a complete sentence, you know? Look at the example. It was, my brother changed his job. The idea is that you take into account these expressions to create the statement. So in this case, the statement of think uses the verb to be. So there is a noise. I don't know who that is. Would be, my brother is thinking of changing his job. Let's have a look at the second one. So it says, my best friend do join the army next month. So it begins with my best friend, right? Let's have a look at the expression of due to. It has verb to be, right? So we have to make the transformation of the verb to be. So because it is my best friend, how would it be? Is or are?
Is.
It's because it's a
My
singular.
friend is due
is due
to join the army.
That's it. Perfect. That's what you have to do.
Okay. Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, welcome, guys.
Thank you, teacher.
Oh.
Well, guys, welcome back. Let's check the sentences. This was just a first practice. As I was telling you, after this, then we're going to move to an individual practice. Of course, having a look at the different, more like the grammatical components, you know, these expressions. The idea is to include them in our vocabulary a little bit more. Let's see, we already had the statements from group number 1. I would like to ask Mabel Gamboa, how is statement number 1?
Teacher, my best friend is due to joining the army next month.
Okay, Mabel. Let's see if group number 7 agrees. I would like to ask Cindy, Juliana. Do you have the same, exactly the same, or do you have something different?
Teacher difference.
How different? Could you repeat yours?
Okay, my best friend is do. I don't know how say.
Do. Is do. Do.
Do. Okay, do to join the army next month.
Yes. You know, I was telling you let's say the rule about the prepositions, but the only preposition here for this, oh, es que horrible. The only preposition here is of, okay? With the other cases, notice that they all finish with to. And then when we have to remember that we can't make any transformation to the verb, only when we have of. That's the one. Well, of course, in this set of statements, because there are this rule of prepositions apply with everything. Like thinking about buying a new book, something like that. It is only in this example. Gerson, yes.
Teacher, one question. Why thinking half of and planning half to? I don't understand this. For why this use
Why
of
thinking has of and planning has to? You know, Gerson, that's the collocation. Collocation is the technical name of, let's say, fixed combination that they happen just because. You know, there are other, let's say, explanations that are more, I would say, accurate. Like, if it is plural, we use are. If it is singular, we use is, right? And that makes sense. But with collocations are phrases that they exist like that. That's the combination to make it, and we have to learn it by heart. So unfortunately, there is no like a deep reason why. That's the collocation. Think it with of and the others with to. So sorry. Yeah, that's the truth. Unfortunately, not everything has that wonderful deep explanation, but that's how it works. Guys, I was checking the pronunciation, and actually you can use both, okay? You can say do or do. If it is only British, would be do. For the ones that prefer American, they have both do or do. So it's up to you. Whatever you use, it's fine, okay? So in conclusion, as Cindy was already saying, is do to join. That is the one. Let's have a look at statement number 2. From group number 2, I would like to ask Carlos Andres.
Yes, teacher. My boss is about to going on maternity leave.
You going, Carlos?
Going. Join, perdón. Join.
Wait.
My boss is about to join the army.
No, number 2.
One moment. 2. My boss is about to join.
Why are you combining, Carlos? Join was for number 1. I'm asking you about number 2.
My boss is about to.
Look at the verb in number 2. The verb that we have is go, but you are combining number 1 with number 2.
Yes. My boss is about to going on maternity leave.
Why going, Carlos? Remember, yeah, sorry for the interruption, tell me.
I don't know because it's a plan.
Carlos, remember precisely the example from the previous sentence. We only use the verb with ing when the preposition in this case is of. To context, look at this the expressions that we have in here. This to doesn't work as a preposition. So would be my boss is about to go on a maternity leave.
Okay.
Very good. You may be thinking, guys, like, but these grammar rules, remember that on the first exam that we took two days ago, there is a very grammatical exercise. You remember the second point of the writing part, that what is the idea? To put the correct grammatical combination. That's the point. And this is key, you know. Let's imagine that we have to space. Then you think, okay, to is not a preposition. So if one of the possibilities has ing, you eliminate it, goodbye. Or if we had a preposition and then the verb goes with ing, you say, this is the possibility. So I know that sometimes it is more interesting when we are talking about those productive skills, you know, and different activities for productive skills, but we also have to check grammar, you know, that's like the reality at the end of the day. I would like to ask from group number 3, Lisette Tarazona, to read statement number 3, please.
Okay, teacher. I hope to get a pay rise soon.
That's it. Very good. Perfect. Group, and of course, Lisette in group number 3. Let's have a look at the statement number 4. Johan Alberto.
Okay, teacher number 4. My dad is going to retire next month.
Very good. That was like the example from the grammatical structures that we already know. Number 5, Gerson, please. How would that one be?
Okay, Ali isn't intended to work here for long.
Gerson, why isn't?
Why isn't? Because we are talking about a future, so I think if I talk about future, I use continuous.
Okay. Well, you know, if we use continuous, Gerson will be isn't intending. Like we need to put the verb with ing. Because you know, we have like to keep the two, let's say, rules that it requires verb to be and then the second verb with ing. That would be the case if we want to use it in continuous form. What happens if we use it in a simple form? Let me ask from group number 7 if Elkin has a different idea.
Teacher, I have a question.
Sure, Sylvia.
When I using like these phrases like to be due to, like my friend is due to join, or is due to joining.
Due
like
to
we,
join.
We need to change join. The verb doesn't change, right?
Exactly, Sylvia, because with to, the verb doesn't change. It changes only if we had a preposition, for example, of, which is the only, let's say, expression that has a preposition from this group. But you know, that happens with prepositions in general. You can say, I guess I told you that I am interested in buying a new book. In is a preposition, so the verb has to go with ing. But from this group of phrases, only of.
Thank
Good,
you.
guys. Yeah. Welcome. I was asking Elkin. I don't know if he can answer now. Because the one that Gerson said, that was I was telling you, we have to make it progressive, so intending. But what about in a simple form, Elkin?
Six
No,
sentence?
5. No, 5.
Ali doesn't intend to work here for long.
That would be it in a simple form. Because actually what Gerson was saying in progressive is actually possible, right? Why not? Why not? It is a proper combination, but let's not forget to put the ing. I will show you the answer key in a moment. Sorry. And let's finish with the statement number 6. Brian Camilo.
I think to apply for a master's degree next year.
Repeat, Brian.
I am thinking of apply for a master's degree next year.
The first part better because you made the transformation. I am thinking of, what happens when we use of, Brian? How should the verb be after of? Let's ask Keiner for help. Keiner, let's help Brian.
Okay. In my group, we choose, I think I will apply for a master degree next year.
Ah, clever. So you use will instead of the expressions, no? The idea was to use the expressions. I know that you can use will going to a present continuous. The sentence is correct, but the idea was to make the transformation of this expression that we have in here. Well played, but that's not the intention of the exercise. Andres Correa.
Yes, teacher. So I think is it to follow the rules is I'm thinking of applying for a master's degree next year.
That was the idea.
But I have a question about this. Correct to say I'm thinking to apply for a master's degree the next year? That is correct to that this part of the sentence I'm thinking to apply?
Well, they say I will think. The thing, no, the collocation is think of.
So I'm thinking of applying.
When you're talking about something that, well, I don't want to confuse you. When we're talking about something that it is being planned, you know, because when we are talking about like a process or an idea that keeps running your mind, is thinking about, for example, when you're talking about a person, you said thinking about you. But it's because that is something that keeps on repeating on your mind. In this case, we are not talking about like the idea running on your mind. You're talking about like a plan that you have for the future. Oh, there are 2 raised hands. Let's start with Andres. Ah, that was you, Andres. Okay.
Okay, that was my question, but
okay, Andres.
I was a little confused about this sentence because we in our group we wrote the both option. I'm thinking of applying and I'm thinking to apply.
Now, in this case, the collocation goes with off when we're talking about that future plan.
Okay, I got it, teacher. Thank you.
Andre, thank you. I think it was Julian, the other hand, but I know
applying with ing.
With ing. Yeah, let me share the answer key with you. I guess if I click here, it appears. Yes. Just to make sure. As I was telling you guys, I know that you can use the grammatical structure. Well, all these statements, even the expressions. But the idea or the main intention is that we include these expressions a little bit more in our vocabulary. That would be basically it. Of course, we can transform everything using will or using going to, and at the end of the day, we're talking about future, and that will be just fine. You know, we can communicate that idea or that plan that we are expecting to happen. But the idea is to have different expressions, let's say, to enrich the vocabulary that we already have. I'm displaying the answer key because, well, we discussed them a lot, and I don't want you to feel confused or maybe that you didn't get the correct answers. Guys, any other question from this part? Natalia.
Perdón si no entendí, la verdad, pero creo entender que después del of siempre va con ing el verbo, ¿cierto?
Es una regla, Natalia, de preposiciones en general. Digamos que of es el único ejemplo que tenemos acá. Pero sí, si hay una preposición y luego una acción, obligatoriamente el verbo debe ir con ing, más no hace referencia a una acción en progresión. Simplemente es una regla gramatical. Hay que ponerle ing al verbo.
Ok, y otro ejemplo de pronto de otra preposición, ¿cuál sería?
Yo les decía interested in. Lo voy a poner acá en el chat. Ay, se borró el chat. Les decía interested in buying. O reading about. Y estas combinaciones es lo que yo les decía que el nombre es collocations. Son combinaciones exactas. No hay una regla tan directa como en otras reglas que esto va así porque es plural, es singular, tan. The collocations are fixed. Es fijo e infortunadamente lo único que toca hacer es aprendérselas de memoria.
Ok, y el thinking también siempre va con el of, ¿cierto? No puede ir con otro, digamos,
No, que era lo que le decía a Jeremy, I guess. Hay otra combinación con about, pero es un proceso mental diferente. Thinking about is that you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. Usted está pensando en alguien. That is why he's thinking about, like constantly having that person in your mind. In this case, it is like a plan that you have for the future. Está pensando en viajar. No es que todos los días viaje. No, that's the general idea.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. Carlos Andrés.
Yes, teacher. Teacher, which is the difference between verbs hope, think, know in part 3 when use will, and hope, thinking in part 2 of examples, the expressing of the future?
Carlos, I don't get your question. Could you repeat it?
Yes, voy a decirlo en español entonces. Es que con el
Por
uso
esta
del will,
vez.
bueno,
Sí,
en
señora.
inglés, bueno,
Ah,
cuando
ok.
está el uso del,
Sí, no lo interrumpo, perdóneme. Creo que ya en ese instante.
tranquila, cuando usamos el will, dice que usamos hope, think, and know. Y en la parte inferior también hay expresiones con hope y con think. ¿Cuál sería como la diferencia o cómo?
Okay, because Will is talking about predictions. Let me go back a la diapositiva. Let me go back to the slide. Will is talking about predictions, right? So if we talk about the prediction, it's because we are not sure. So these are just expressions to introduce the statement with will. For example, I hope, let's say, Colombia will win whatever, something like that. They are just a way to introduce the expression, you know, because notice that it says that will is used after these verbs. So for example, I think I'll buy a new car. Crazy things, of course. So first this statement, like to introduce, espero, yo creo, yo deseo, and then go with the future. That is one way to use them. In this case, we're talking about other expressions that we can use. And in this case, we use only these expressions, you know, because notice that in this case, I'm going back to the book. In these cases that we were using the expressions, we don't have will. Notice, I hope to get a pay raise soon. Hope is the, let's say, the lead protagonist in this statement. Better, Carlos?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Well, guys, actually, all your questions were really good because now we're going to move to the individual part of the task. As I was telling you, the intention now is to practice a little bit more. I know that in your groups, you were discussing how to combine the statements. And, you know, in some cases, when we make the mistakes, that's okay. You know, like that's the moment of making mistakes. I'm going to share this with you. As I was telling you at the beginning, we have like different ways of doing certain activities, but this is not like groundbreaking at the end of the day. This is instruction that we have in here. The instruction says, write 5 sentences about yourself or someone you know using future forms and the prompts below. A little bit similar to the exercise that we were doing with the ideas from the book. Notice that we have here 8 possibilities. You have to choose only 5. Guys, what is the intention? Let's use the new vocabulary, let's use the new expressions. I know we have already noticed that for you, will, going to, and present continuous, they are like obvious already for you. Let's make sure that we can actually use these new expressions, which were at some point a little bit, let's say, tricky, but now we have clarified a little bit more. How are we going to do this? Guys, first of all, I'm going to send you a link to the chat. In this PowerPoint presentation, there are 19 slides. Make sure that you land on your corresponding slide. For example, Gerson is going to be on slide number 1, Natalia Camargo on slide number 5, Elkin on slide number 11, blah, 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 blah. So notice that the number of your slide depends on the order that we have on our list. So the first thing to do in the moment that you get into your slide, write down your name so we avoid confusions, okay? Could you let me know if you can edit your slide, please?
Yes, I can.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, guys, write down your name so we avoid confusions. I'm gonna give you like 1 minute, a couple of minutes maybe. I'm gonna set up the timer just for fun. Let's see. There's very good. Painter, excellent. The slide number 3, pending. The seat number 4, Natalia 5, William 6, Andres 7, 8. Where is 9? And also, I know then with this activity, and if you are actually here. 11, Johan Alberto. Pardon, 10, Johan Alberto. 11, not here. 12, Julian. 13, Jeanette. Carlos, 14. Mabel in 15. Cindy, Juliana, 16. 17, where are you? 18, Lizette Tarazona. And 19, it's Brian. Slide number 3. Jean-Claude. ¿Dónde está? Silvia is already 9. Slide number 11. Who's 11? Elkin Darío. ¿Qué pasó con Elkin?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
But where are you? I don't see you in your slide, Elkin.
Sí, la 11 ya la escribí. Ah, bueno, espera. Es que me faltaba confirmarlo. ¿Ya aparece?
No, I'm gonna refresh the page. Let's see. Okay.
¿Sí aparece o no?
No, señor. Mira. No me sale el nombre.
Tengo entonces un problema con estos. No, pero me sale. ¿Será que la 10?
Johan Alberto Duque.
Voy a probar otra vez, teacher, porque ya la había escrito, ya no me sale.
Okay, yeah, let's try again. Okay, and 17. José Alejandro Gómez. No lo veo por acá. Okay, guys, I don't want to interrupt you anymore. I'm gonna once again let you know. Remember the idea that from these 8 possibilities, of course, use the verbs, use the prompts, and you're gonna create 5 statements. Remember the idea. The idea is to put into practice more actually these expressions, not just the will and going to, because you already know what that is. Guys, this is going to be like the activity of the night. It is only 5 sentences, so they should be finished tonight. I'm going to give you like first 5 minutes of silence. I don't want to interrupt you. Then after 5 minutes, I'm going to have a look at some of your examples to give you some feedback, okay? And then we will wrap up our session. So 5 minutes of silence. If you have any question, let me know. Okay, I'm going to start having a look at some of your statements before we finish our session. Remember, guys, that in case, just in case that you don't finish tonight, you have until Monday, 8 p.m. to write down your sentences. After that, then you can't make any additions. And of course, that is not the idea. The idea that you can actually finish doing your statements. Okay, let's see. I'm going to have a look at a couple of them very quickly. No, 17 no estuvo definitivamente. Brian Camilo. Well, I didn't, I turned it on, but then I can't see, so I have to turn it off. I intend to apply. For a job in a company. I am planning to take some exams driving test. I would eliminate exams, Brian. But because we already have the word text, so it is like redundant. Just to keep that in mind. Brian, are you listening maybe?
Yes, teacher.
I would keep planning in this case to take some driving tests. Yeah, because now they are like 2, right? Okay. I'm thinking of traveling abroad next month. Well, notice that actually it's showing you the spelling. Check the spelling of next. I intend to change it because I don't like this. I hope to start my favorite career at university now. Guys, I remember I as a pronoun, always capital letter, never lowercase. Always forever. One more, very quickly. Let's see Elkin Darío. There you are. When I am applying for a job. When I'm applying for a job. Elkin, actually, we will study this grammatical combination. Let me highlight it for a moment. You say, when I'm applying for a job, I will have to submit a detailed resume, blah, 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 blah.
This is a future clauses, no? I am applying for a job.
Give me a moment. The thing is that when we make this combination, the first statement has to go in simple form because the first part would be in present, which would be the cause, and the second part is the result in the future. So we can't really use a progressive form in this case. When I apply for a job, I have to submit. Okay. Next semester, I want to take a course in entrepreneurship to learn more about the starting. And I use a good business in order to get my driver's license. I plan to take the driving test next month. After a few more practice sessions with my instructor. I am considering training. Okay. To be a senior system analyst, so I can show my different adjectives in English never go in plural. You said to show my different abilities. In English, the adjectives. In Spanish, we have to pluralize. Yeah, different
abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plural goes only with the noun, never with the adjectives. Okay. Okay, well, guys, it's already, you have already written 5. In 2 years' time, I will be traveling abroad to Canada to learn about vibrant culture and, well, the spelling of practice, and that would be it. Very good. Well, guys, that's the idea. And most of you have already managed to finish your statements. Remember, just in case, we have time until Monday. Keep in mind the intention. First of all, using those new expressions with those, like, let's say, specific combinations that they have. Of course, it doesn't mean that you can't use will or going to or present continuous. Yes, but let's give a little bit of extra attention, to these new statements. And of course, at the end of the day, the idea is that you include those expressions into your vocabulary. Guys, did you have any question?
Teacher, this my first clause
Statement.
is the statement. Is the first clause or the second? I don't remember what is the correct.
I don't get your question, Elkin. Could you repeat?
La
No,
primera
no. Tell me in English. No, let's try.
Okay.
No more Spanish.
Clause is the first pronunciation of this word.
The first clause.
The first clause is sounds like close of the door, but close.
They can be homophones.
Okay, when in my first clause, is it the first clause or the second clause form?
I don't know what you mean by clause.
Conditional clause, excuse me.
Okay, the conditional one. That would be the first idea that you created.
Yes,
That
yes.
means that the first part, not the first part, the section that contains when, for the moment when, always
Yes.
goes in simple form. For the moment, present simple. So the result goes in future, in this case, using will. That is always the combination when we're talking about those type of statements, In this case, talking about the conditional. The when clause goes with a simple form, and the result goes with a future, in this case, in conditional number 1. We will study that next week.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, Elkin. Well, guys, I don't want to take up more of your time. Don't forget to finish the statements. I will send you an email with the mini presentation that I showed you at the beginning of the session. And well, I hope that we continue working as great as we have been working these first 2 hours. Guys, have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.